Alright, y'all, so we back. Oil is drained now. As you can tell, we got the drain plug out. Drain plug's out, and this is on the 2003 Mitsubishi Lancer. So what we're doing right now is we're going to take the oil pan off. Oil pan is obviously smashed. We have a new one right here. Look at the difference. Yeah, you can tell the difference. Okay, we got a new gasket and some sealer and everything. So it's going to be lined with bolts all the way around it that hold the oil pan up. So you can get you a ratchet and an extension. That way you can get next to it right here where it's kind of long. So you're going to need an extension. And then let's see what size it is. We're gonna start with the 10 mil because it's kind of what it looks like. And I mean, yeah, maybe it's not exactly a 10 mil, but whatever, it looks like it kind of will work. Sorry if I'm in the way of the camera. Oh no, I'm not, we're good. So we're gonna start just removing one bolt at a time. And you know what, I think, to be honest, oh shit, I grabbed an 11 millimeter. What the hell am I doing? No wonder it didn't fit. So grab a 10 millimeter. There we go. And we'll start removing all the oil pan bolts all the way around in a circle. Try to get them out. And this is one of the things that you should check every time you buy a car, especially a car that looks like someone was driving it off-road and rallying it. A lot of times people buy a car like this and then wonder why it blows up later, and it's probably because improper lubrication to the lower end. Because the oil pan smashed, and you know, the factory designed this car to have a certain lubrication. When the oil pan smashed, it is not in spec. So that right there's a big problem. Okay, and then I'm still waiting on some parts to show up to do the O2 sensors on this. So we'll probably just make another video of that. Probably just leave the car in the air though, even after I get done doing the oil pan. So there's half of them. So what I'm gonna do is start taking them all the way out. I'm gonna leave one bolt here and one bolt here just to hold the pan up so it doesn't fall right off. So we'll see how long this takes. There's like a million little bolts on it though. But it shouldn't be too bad. They're not long-winded bolts. They're pretty short. And the oil pan does come with the gasket. Well, I mean the gasket kit, my bad. The gasket kit does come with sealer for the oil pan gaskets. And we'll get to that when it comes. Okay, let's get that one loose. Let's see, there's one more right here. Obviously, the first thing you need to do is drain all the oil. So just make sure you do that, because it would be a bad day to get under here and do this and just get showered in oil as soon as the pan comes off. Oh shit, where'd it go? I found it, didn't drop in the bucket, good job. So we're gonna continue our way around right here and just feeling and finding all the bolts. One more here. All right, last one. Then we pop those two that I left in there just to hold it up out. So now this one that's already loose. This one that's already loose. Okay. now we got all the bolts out, it looks like. Let's just do a double check to make sure. Last thing you want to do is be fighting an oil pan that doesn't want to come off because you left the bolt in it. So now at this point, just give it a little tap, tap, tap. Could get a screwdriver and kind of pry it off. Ah, there we go. We got that. Make sure you set the pan in your drain pan so that it can properly drain into the pan. You want to check your screen in here. Make sure the screen's still intact. Because right now it looks good. The screen is intact. So just kind of go around the edge right here and kind of feel for any old silicone or gasket maker, whatever they used. Make sure it's all nice and clean. No remnants like this right here, big spot. Yes, I just use my fingernails, leave me alone. Okay, there's that. Now another thing you want to check for is metal shavings in there, which actually, believe it or not, put it in the sun. Yeah, there's a little bit, just a little bit shiny, but not too bad. Not nothing that I would worry about, but I mean, other people may or may not worry about it. But to me, I mean, this is an old engine. It is a 2003. There's 200 and something thousand miles on this engine. So a little bit of fucking sparkle in your oil is probably not the biggest thing to worry about. What you're mainly looking for is a bunch of big chunks. And right now we don't have big chunks in there. I'm going to go run and grab a rag real quick so I can wipe this all down. And then we're going to start putting the new oil pan back on. And we're going to get this all sealed up, ready to go. All right, we are back. We got our rags. They were just sitting right over there. Forgot to bring them over with me. So first things first is wipe my hand off. Okay, now we can start cleaning up the surface area. Last thing you want is another leaky pan after you do this. I mean, this car looks like it. I mean, you can obviously tell it needed an oil change anyways. So I would say it's probably smart just to, if you need an oil change, check your pan while you're there doing it. If the pan looks banged up at all. It also helps because you lose velocity when the pan's banged up, so you might be getting a false reading on your dipstick when it says it's full, and you might be like, you know, just the slightest bit low. Let's get this all wiped down and clean. Make sure there's no old gasket on there. Yeah, it looks pretty good. I mean, you're gonna use whatever the former gasket anyways, but you still want to take the extra time just to make sure you don't have a whole bunch. So here's the new oil pan, and I would wear a brand new hat yet again underneath the car. What a fucking idiot. God, I don't really use my brain sometimes. Okay, and then you got the gasket with the RVT silicone. So we're gonna overdo it like I always do, is overdo everything. Pull out the silicone, pull out the gasket. What the hell is that? So someone just went in my front door. Anyways, my bad, y'all. So we're gonna get the gasket out and just, you know, for a second, we're gonna double check to make sure it's the right gasket. Which way does it go? Like that. Okay. Looks like we bought the right one. It lines up nice. Okay, let's make sure the gasket matches our pan. Gasket matches the oil pan. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is what I see fit right here, which is first and foremost, I'm gonna put the gasket sealer, the RVT, on the pan. Stick the gasket to the pan, and then gasket RVT the top of the gasket after it's on the pan. That way you get both sides of the gasket sealed. And then we're just gonna kind of hold it up there and stick it to the lower end. And that will ensure that we get a proper seal on both sides. So we're gonna do this. And come all the way around. They give you, well, my gasket kit came with 3 tubes, it looks like. I'm gonna use at least 2 of them. Who just pulled up to my house, damn it. Someone just pulled up in a big Dodge. They're gonna come ruin my video right now, watch. Okay, well, once you get the RVT around the pan, take your gasket and try not to make a mess, but let me flip around. Not to make a mess, but you're gonna stick this down on the pan, line up all the holes, and there you go. Now, once you get that done, grab you another tube. We'll probably use up the last bit of the first tube.
Where you at?
I'm under the car, hold on, I'm making a video. Give me a second. RVT around this side of the gasket. Alright, now once you get the gasket, the RVT shit all the way around that, you're gonna come back up and wipe off the surface area once again, because as you can tell, if you can see it in the video, there's oil draining right there and dripping down everywhere. So we're gonna try to do this quickly, wipe it off and get the pan up in place before it drips more oil down. Get the pan lined up and grab a bolt, start her in. Now we got 2 bolts started in. We can grab our other bolts, get them all the way started, all the way around. At this point, I just use the extension with no ratchet just to get them started. Get it all snug tight. Chris, I'm making a video right now.
Shit, my bad.
That's it. And if Naomi watches my YouTube, she's gonna hear you.
I'm getting my shit covered. I have to go to Walmart. I'll be back.
Alright.
Teresa got a VH headset or whatever that thing's called.
A VR?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ, you surprised me sometimes.
Yeah, but I got the 3X and then I realized that I liked it, so I want to get the 3. So I can actually see it better.
It seems like I only got 2 bolts left. 1, 2 right here and right here. And that would be the final one. Right, now get your ratchet and just get them all snug tight. You don't have to, I wouldn't just go cranking hard on one side. I would kind of do it, jump around a little bit. And then come back and get them all tight. Okay, now just go back and get them all. You don't want to crank too hard on these. These are little 10mm bolts and they will break off in there. So just get them nice and good and snug. The gasket sealer will take care of most of it. I mean, obviously you don't want it to fall off, but don't go cranking too tight on it, because if you break one of these off, you're just going to cost yourself a whole bunch of time and money fighting with them. And that should be good like that. So there you go. That's how you change the oil pan on the 2003 Lancer. So I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching.